One really nice tool in Google Forms is the quiz feature. So I'm actually going to create a blank quiz right here by clicking on blank quiz. And a quiz is just a special type of Google form. In fact, if I wanted to, I could turn my pizza form into a quiz. It doesn't really make sense to do that, but here's how I would. I would click on the settings and then go to quizzes and then check make this a quiz. And then I would have all my quiz settings. So you can turn any form into a quiz anytime. Let me go back to this blank one, and we're going to call this a, let's see, gardening quiz. I'm going to make it look pretty just because I like to do that. Let's see, something related to gardens. There we go, some shamrocks. That'll work. Okay, so gardening quiz. This is already a quiz. I am going to check out my quiz settings. Okay, so looking at my quiz settings, I'll toggle over here to quizzes. I can choose whether I want the Chrome browser to be locked down. So in other words, they will not be able to open up another tab. Maybe I want that. Maybe this is a very serious quiz. Let's just say that it is. I can choose when to release the grade to the students. So maybe I don't want them to get it right away, or maybe I do. You can choose. You can also decide on what they can see. So maybe I want them to see the missed questions, but I don't want them to see the correct answers yet. So I can choose that. For my general settings, these are turned off because I have locked mode on. So I don't get to decide whether they can have one response or more. I'm going to automatically collect emails. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do the locked mode. And for presentation, I think I'm going to shuffle the questions here. I cannot let them submit another response right now because we're in locked mode. Okay. And of course, you don't have to give your quizzes in the locked mode. You can just, you can turn that off by unchecking that box right there. And some of your other choices will open up. I'm going to leave it how it is. Okay, so let's ask some questions. Do plants need water? I'm going to add all. Yes, no, and maybe. Let's make this a required question. I also want to get, well, I guess I'm going to get their name, but I'm going to ask anyway. I just think it's always good practice to get their name in there. So first name, last name. Cool. And then I'm going to ask another question. This time it's going to be a paragraph question. I'm going to say, in your best words, please tell me how to take care of a plant. Okay. Yes, that looks good. And maybe ask one more question. Check all of the true statements. Checkboxes. Hey, it knew what I wanted. Google's so smart. Okay. Plants like sunlight. I know that's not true for maybe all plants. Maybe there's some that don't like sunlight. We're going to say all plants like sunlight. Okay. Plants are alive. And then we're going to, like, they're a living organism. And then the other thing I'm going to say is, let's see, plants. I need something false about plants, and I just can't think of anything that's false about plants right now. Plants are a great gift for everyone. Yeah, we all know there's, so I've got two true statements. Plants like sunlight, plants are alive, and I have a false statement because not everybody should have a plant. Not everybody wants a plant. All right, so now let's talk about, we've got our quiz set up. What can I do with my answer key? Well, right now my quiz is worth 4 points. It's set up to score most of these questions. In fact, it's giving them a point right or wrong for their name. I'm going to make that not worth any points. I'm going to make this one not worth any points also. Now, these are short answer questions, so if there was a correct answer, I could type the correct answer there, and I could force them to match it. So, for example, maybe the last name is either Smith or Robinson. Maybe I only have 2 students, and those are the only correct answers. I could check mark all other answers incorrect. it doesn't make sense for this question because we all have different last names. But you can do that. And when you list correct answers, what'll happen is if they do not match any of the answers in your list, they will get it wrong. Okay, but this is a name. There is no wrong answer, so I'm going to make 0 points here. Do plants need water? So for this one, I do want to award some points. I'll make that a 1 point question. And the correct answer I need to select now. So I'm going to choose yes. Plants need water. I can also add answer feedback. So let's say that they got it wrong. I'm going to click on this video link here and type taking care of plants. Okay, houseplant care tips for beginners. That's probably a good start. So let's select that one. All right, try watching this video to learn more. If I wanted, I also could have sent them a link to an article. I'm not going to do that though. Okay, correct answers, I'll say, yes, you are right. You don't have to give feedback, but I thought it would be meaningful to give feedback on this particular quiz. All right, let's look at the next question. I'm going to click on the question. I'm going to click on answer key. In your best words, please tell me to how to take care of a plant. I can add feedback here, but you'll notice there's not a place for a correct answer because for a paragraph, it's subjective. There's not one correct answer. So I can give feedback. I'm just going to say, I appreciate your thoughtful answer. We will go over this in class. And again, the feedback is optional. You don't have to do that. Check all true statements. Let me click answer key. Plants like sunlight. Plants are alive. Plants are not a great gift for everyone. There's some people who don't want plants. In fact, I think I'm going to make that my answer choice. Consider that not everyone would enjoy having a plant. There we go. I'm just guessing that that's going to be the misconception, but I'm not sure. Okay, so I have my little quiz here. Let me preview it because before I send it, I want to be sure that it looks good. Oh, and you know what? I can't access it because only respondents using managed Chromebooks can open this quiz. Well, I'm glad I clicked that, huh? So that's important. I'm using my MacBook right now, so I can't take this quiz. Let's fix that. Remember, this is in our settings. We go over to quizzes. I can turn off locked mode and save that. Okay, now let me try to preview it. Ta-da! Okay, that's interesting. I accidentally moved this question up here. That's okay. Plants like sunlight. Plants are alive. My last name is Johnson. Do they need water? I'm gonna go with yes. Be sure to put it in a good spot. Do not let it get too hot or cold. Give it the right amount of water and feed it sometimes. Miracle Grow, something like that. And my first name is Liz. So let's submit this and see how it looks. I can view my score now. All right. Hey, I got 2 out of 3 questions right. Let's see what I missed. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that means I got everything right that I could get right, and the teacher is going to have to hand grade this. Now, I'm glad I previewed this because my choices were kind of in the wrong order there. All right, looks okay over here though. Okay, I must have just dragged it out of order temporarily there. Looks good. All right, so let's talk about, from a teacher's perspective, how do I grade this question, the paragraph question? All right, so I'm going to go to my responses tab. And here I can see the summary. So I can see a summary of how my students have scored. All sorts of information for me here. Some great item analysis. This would be great for a PLC, huh? All right, so I'm going to click on question. And this is the place where I really like to score things because you'll notice it's not telling me whose paper this is. This is anonymous. So let me go to, in your best words, tell me how to take care of a plant. And all of the responses would be here. So this is an ungraded response. I'm going to say, yeah, that's correct. They get a point. There we go. So let's save that. I don't need to score anything else. Let's go back and check my summary. Look at that. 3 out of 3 now. Good. Okay. So you can see this is hand grading is pretty simple. It's okay to ask a paragraph question. You just need to remember to go in here to your questions and look at them and then mark whether they are right or wrong for each response. You can also score it from the individual bar over here. I prefer to score it from questions because I like not knowing whose response it is. I think that anonymity helps me be more objective. And so that's how you can work with quizzes in Google Forms.